oh gosh, my brain just went. Laura, when we were out, the Civil War button that I found. Now that particular button, it was so pretty when it came out of the ground. All I did was lightly brush the dirt off, and that's the way it is. So I left it that way. Now the back was a little harder. I guess I don't know, fertilizer over just time ate away a little bit of the back marking a little, but I did brush it off with a brush a little harder to see if I could read the back mark, but I couldn't make it all out. I think I sent you some photos because I was going to have you look it up in your button book. But anyway, those certain finds like that I do not like to clean, and especially like your silver coins or those type. I never use anything harsh on my silver, and I'm sure you don't either.
Some of them I do.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends on the coin.
Depend. The coin. I know that I've found some in this local dump here that you couldn't even tell. They were so black and dark. So those I did, clean a little more than I normally would. So I could even read the date, off of them. But you know what I mean? When you pop the silver out of the ground, I always try to keep it, in the shape, I just rinse them. I don't even use soap usually on mine. Just rinse them under some water, clean off the dirt, and that's the way I leave it. Just depends, though. How about you?
So with going back to like the button, if I see some gold gilt showing through, I'll use a little bit of lemon juice on a Q-tip and kind of clean the dirt off. And that seems to do, relatively well in cleaning it up and having it stay. The coins, yeah, it depends on the coin. The dump coins, I do the peroxide soak or electrolysis on. They're so environmentally damaged as is that.
Yeah, they are. Those you don't mind as much.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I think that's.
So, can you tell people about the peroxide, how you do that? I've seen it done, but I've never done it myself. I'm really curious. I've seen videos on it and stuff, and I've never even electrolyzed ugly box a coin either. The only thing that I've ever done electrolysis-wise was iron objects. So I've never done it to a coin or anything like that. I guess I should experiment more. I just usually like to use only iron objects for my electrolysis and then find other ways to clean my other stuff. But yeah, could you tell us a little bit more how that works?
So I think there's two different. So if I'm doing like, say I found a silver ring that's pretty junked up, then I will do a little bit. So basically I'll put the ring in a little cup and I'll add peroxide and like window cleaner, like Windex, just enough to cover the item, and I let it sit for about 30 minutes and then rinse it off. Coins, I've heated up peroxide in a little like cup and let it soak for like 15 minutes, and it seems to work. I know some of my mudlarking brackish coins, it seems like they could sit in peroxide. I don't even know. I could just let it sit and nothing will happen with it. The thing is with like CLR, Evaporust, any of those things, even peroxide, I do all of it outside. That way it's well vented, I don't know what some of the material is that are on some of the stuff I found. So better safe than sorry. I do all that outside. Um, but yeah, the peroxide for like, say I've got a gross mercury dime, I'll let it sit. And basically, you can try it in cool peroxide. I know some people heat up water and then put like what is it? They'll heat up
Boil.
water. Yeah, they'll boil water and have it like in an aluminum and then have their
Uh-huh.
item in a like a glass thing and put the peroxide in and have the hot water on the outside of it type of thing. So it's like a two layer. I don't know. I've never done that before. I think everybody, you got to find things that you want to try things on. And then I know that I'm pretty sure that there's items like there's YouTube videos out there. So you can always, but it's your, if it's your find, and you know me, a lot of the stuff I find goes back to property owners. So I don't want it looking harsh, cleaned, or like not for them
Right.
not to be able to tell. So I try to go somewhere in between and give them the opportunity. I let them know you might not want to clean that. If you want to clean this one, like, yeah, that's, but I let them know and then they do what they want with them. So,
Right. Well, it's just like ORH just said, you need to boil iron items in the paraffin wax. I've seen that done as well, especially on preserving stuff like the Civil War stuff, like, the parrot shells and cannonballs and stuff like that. I think that works really well. Um, I've never found one, so. uh, but as for an ugly box or electrolysis, I've done lots of that. I've never tried the paraffin wax. That might be something that I'll have to try sometime. Um, have you tried that?
no, the paraffin wax, no. I've done the vinegar
Uh-huh.
soak, um, where I have a tote and I threw all the rusty items in and filled it with vinegar and capped it. And it really did seem to work to take stuff off. And then I heard you give it a good rinse and then you need that item to be seriously dried out. And then I've heard the paraffin wax being used to like seal it, but I don't know if that would be the same case.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The
So
hazy bottles, um,
squeaky clean.
yeah, so as for the hazy bottles, the best way I've seen is some people will make it's a bottle tumbler similar to, what a coin tumbler looks like. I know that you can go to Brandon's YouTube channel, Adventures in Archaeology, and he has a whole video on, I think, one of those bottle tumblers. For me, what I've always done is I have an outdoor sink that I will soak my bottles in, and I take what is that? Oh gosh, I can't remember what kind of acid that is that they use for pools. Do you remember the name of that is?
I like chlorine you're talking?
No, it's not chlorine. It's an acid.
No.
Uh, let me think about it, what it's called, but some of our listeners may know. But what I'll do is I'll take that and soak it in there. You dilute it with your water. The acid, you pour a little of that acid on the ground, and it will go, yeah, hydrochloric. I don't know if that's it or not. Muriatic. I think it's muriatic acid. Yeah. And you dilute it with water, and you soak your bottles in there for days, and it'll clear up a lot of that haziness. And then I'll take like a bottle scrubber too. You have to wear gloves, the rubber gloves for that. It's a must. But it'll clean your bottles really nice, and get rid of that haze. But I do know that Brandon has some videos on what he does with his bottles as well.
Yeah, I use Super Clean. I get, again, a big bucket, and I put all my bottles in it, even the hazy, the rusty, all of them, and I fill basically all the bottles up with it, and on the outside, and then add water, and I let it sit for like 24 hours, and then it seems to really clean them, and I don't have to worry about melting my hands off. Or
There you go. That's smart. Now, what is it? What is it called?
I think it's Super Clean. Yeah, it's called Super Clean. It's
Clean.
like a purple jug. It's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Super Clean. I've never heard of that. You have to take a photo and send it to me.
Yes, I sure can. Yeah. Anything I could try to do that's not gonna like hurt me.
Yeah.
I will definitely try.
For sure.
The bottle tumbler is pretty crazy, and there are some people out there that do it. I know Ed had a bottle tumbler, that was really neat, and you know, again, something like that, I'd be nervous about breaking some bottles. So,
I would be too. I mean, I know that they've made it that long, but I would be scared I would fracture it or do something.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep. I mean, I guess it's a craft, right? Some of this,
It really is.
you see some of these people cleaning, then they show you the coins, their coppers on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok or any of the social media, and you're just like, wow, like you see the before and afters, like even Axel, like he was on recently with some of his finds that he cleans up, and it really is a craft. You find out what works best, and you perfect it as you go, and I think there's so many different cleaning methods out there, which is absolutely great. Hopefully, I know that Renaissance Wax, the Flow, or the people in the UK, they came out and said absolutely do not use that stuff. Thankfully, I don't think I ever really used it on too many of my finds. And because it smelled like gasoline to me. And in my head, I'm like, why would you put something that smells like gasoline on anything? Because in my mind, it would eat away at. So, I don't know. But yeah, it's a craft. It's really neat. And most of the time, I think a lot of the finds for me up here, and maybe, for some of the diggers up here, is those finds wait until winter to get cleaned up. And that's what we do in our off time. So
Right.
now you're headed somewhere pretty exciting, right? This weekend?
Yeah, so this weekend I will be in Edna, Texas at a hunt. It's only $5 if any of y'all can make it. It's in South Texas. It'll be a seated hunt that the Edna Museum, it's the Texana Museum, is hosting, and I'm their guest, and I'll be there meeting and greeting people, signing autographs, and doing that fun stuff. And I know they've got some amazing prizes already. I mean, they're only charging $5 because, I guess apparently they have some good beneficiary, what do you call it, benefactors, to the museum. And so they can afford to do that. And they've already got pinpointers and other really amazing stuff to give away. So if you can make it, and you need info on it, you can go to the Texarkana website or Facebook group, Texarkana, I think, Museum,